Hi, welcome to my demonstration of using the FactoryTalk Vantage Point trend within FactoryTalk View SE. So here's the View SE client, and what I've done is I've embedded the Vantage Point trend within a page on here. And then I've written some VB code, which I'll show you in a minute, to make it a little more easy for the user to actually build trends. So what you'll see right now is if I click on any of these values, it opens up the faceplate for the value. And I've added a button to each faceplate, which opens up the Vantage Point trend. And you can see here it's automatically added this current process value onto the trend. So then if I open up another faceplate and I click the same button, it adds that process value tag, and so on and so forth. So you can see very quickly the user can build their own ad hoc trend without having to search through a long list of tags or be extremely familiar with the tag naming standard. Once they build this trend, they can do any of the normal edits or manipulations of the trend, and then of course publish it so that any other Vantage Point user can see it. So how I created this was, first of all, within FactoryTalk View Studio, I created a display which all it had on it was the InQD ActiveX trend control. And how I put that on there is you have to make sure you have FactoryTalk View SE 7.0, and then you go Objects, ActiveX Control, and you draw the trend control. And then once you've drawn it, you search and you find InQD ActiveX trend control and select that and click OK. So that's our generic trend control page. The next thing that I did was on the faceplate. This is a global faceplate. I added this button, and behind this button is some VBA code. So you'll see here in the VBA code, when the button is released, I open that advanced trend portal page. That is this page, advanced trend portal, with the display with the trend on it. I then find the element, the InQD ActiveX trend control. So that becomes the objects, because I'll need that later on to add the tag to. The next thing I do is I grab the pvDisplay.expression, and that gives me the actual tag name on the faceplate. I then have to parse the tag name a little bit to trim off some brackets and colons and things. Depending on exactly how your HMI tagging is done and how your historian tagging is done, you might have to tweak this parsing a little bit. If you want to see what the display expression is, you can just uncomment this message box line, it'll pop it up so you can see what the tag name looks like. I then add the system sources FactoryTalk historian tags prefix to the tag name, because the tag name has to be exactly what you would have normally dragged and dropped into Vantage Point. If you run this code and this line executes and absolutely nothing shows up here, it means there's an error in your tag name. If it can't find the tag name, it won't add it to the trend. And of course the last step is actually add the tag name to the trend. So every time you click the trend button, it keeps just adding and adding to the same display and trend on the display. One last item is on the actual trend display itself. When the animation starts, I want to make sure that the Explorer, the daytime control, and the toolbar are shown. And when the animation ends, or stops, I want to make sure I clear the trend. This deletes all the tags off of it. That's so when I add some tags, and I build my trend, and then if I click the close button, and I start building a new trend, it starts with a new list of tags. If you don't have this clear command, it will show you the other the tags that you previously had. Thank you very much.